Okay, so here's a tutorial for the Princess Charm School crochet uniform, the original one that they wear, not the one where they're like, technically this is the uniform, so we're in the rules, but no, this is the original one because I've decided that that is within my capabilities to crochet for some reason. I've some yarn here, which I don't think will be nearly enough, but whatever. And we're going to start with the vest of the uniform, the cute little navy one. And it's going to go in these portions of what we make. We're going to make two little front rows. We're going to make these sides just a square back, because I think, or a rectangle back, because I think that's all you really need. And then a little adjustable strap on the back, and that's all going to be with this yarn here. And I think there's little gold details to add, which is what that's for. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is just chain a little line. I'm not sure how many chains quite yet. Basically, it just needs to be enough to go like from your neck to your shoulder. And it's going to go way down to your waist. Which I chained 18 for that. Then for me, because I just like this stitch, I'm going to do just half double crochets. So I'm going to chain 2 more, yarn over, and then half double crochet into the 3rd chain from the hook, and I'm going to do that all the way down. And we're going to repeat that. So we're going to do that all the way down. We're going to chain 2 again and do more rows over and over again. Okay, so I finished the thing to like about the waist area, from the top of the shoulder to the waist, and I did 60 rows of half double crochets. Oh, I can't see. 50 rows of half double crochets, but it would be different depending on whatever. Okay, so now we're going to do that like triangle part, and the way I think I'm going to do it is I'm just going to skip the first half double crochet there and slip stitch into this one, and then into the next one, chain up 1, and then half double crochet along. And then for the next one, we'll just do that again. We'll half double crochet along until you get to the last 2 here. So you stop on right that one. Oh, no. There we go. Okay, so now I'm to these last 2, and I'm going to skip those. Oh, and I don't need to chain. And I'm going to turn, and then we're going to repeat this again. So we're going to skip 1, slip stitch to the next, and the next one, chain, and half double crochet around. So we're just repeating that until we got a point. Okay, so I've made the point just by repeating it over and over again, and I've slip stitched into this last little thing, and we're just going to fasten off. Grab some scissors. Ta-da! First portion of whatever. And we're going to do literally the exact same thing again. Yay. Okay, so I've finished the two front pieces, so now do the side pieces, except we're just going to be curving at the top and the bottom's going to be completely flat. So how I figured it out is, ignore the PJs, is put this up to the top of your shoulder and it will be kind of forward because the front strips meet in the middle, and chain from the sides from here to like just the beginning of your back, which for me is 30 chains. And then we're just going to be half double crocheting it up again, and we're going to crochet up until like underneath your armpit, like just a bit lower than where you want the hole to be, because we're going to curve it upwards, so you need room. Okay, so once you've done enough rows to finish before you reach the sleeve hole or armhole, we are going to, which for me was, I did not 17, double 17, whatever that is, rows. And next we're going to chain 1, turn, and increase in the first 2 stitches. So that's 2 half double crochets in the first and the second, and then we just finish the row like normal, and then on the last 2 half double crochets will increase as well. Okay, now that we've reached the end, we'll half double crochet twice in each of these. And then we won't chain, we'll just turn and we'll skip the first one and slip stitch into the next 6 stitches. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then we'll chain and half double crochet along. And this time we're just half double crocheting to the end. Okay, so once we've reached the end, we will chain 1, then turn, and for this row, basically all it is half double crocheting in each stitch until you have 6 half double crochets left on the row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You stop here. Can that get in focus? It stopped there. Okay, so we've reached the end, just 6 half double crochets before, and basically we're just going to keep repeating these last 2 rows. So you turn, skip 1, slip stitch 6, chain, and then chain along, half double crochet along, then go up, half double crochet until you've got 6 more, and you repeat that until you only have 10 half double crochets left in the row. Okay, so I've only got 10 left, and now I'm going to start, it's just the same except it's 2 slip stitches this time, then we chain 1, and once you finish half double crocheting along, chain 1, turn, and then crochet half double crochets into until there's 2 left. One, 2, and then you just repeat that. Turn, skip 1, slip stitch 2, and we just continue doing this until you only have 2 half double crochets left, which I think is this row. Yep. And then you fasten off by chaining, cut, pull through. You just do this twice so that there's a weird type of shape. Okay, so now that we've got all these pieces for the vest, this is how you're going to set them out, and then you're just going to sew along these edges here. Okay, so I've sewed the pieces together, so now we are going to do the back. And the way that I've done it is I held up the pieces just very like strangely like that, and chained how much space I have left on my back to join it up, and I ended up chaining 49, and it is literally just going to be a long rectangle part, and I think it'll be about the same. It'll be the same amount of rows as these pieces and the bottom bit, but there's no triangle. It's just continuing on, and that's it. And then we connect them. So I'll come to you when I finished this. Okay, I did it. How fabulous. So now we're going to sew this to the main vest piece. So we'll sew it to this part down here, and we'll sew it to here and to the top pieces. How adorable. So I think I'll just put it there, fold this over, and we'll sew the top pieces to the very edge, so it'll be along like that, and on the other side too. And I'll come back when I finish that. Okay, I've sewed all the pieces of the vest together, so it looks like a vest. I tried it on. It fits kind of, you know, close enough. And so to finish it, we are just going to single crochet around the armholes and along all of this and around and then back up. But on one side, doesn't really matter which side, we're going to, like, I think maybe from about here, add in some gaps for some buttons. So we'll just chain, skip a few, chain, skip a few, chain, skip a few. And I'll show you how I have figured out I should do that then. Okay, I've finished single crocheting around all of the edges, and I've put in these 2 chain gaps, 5 of them, starting from about here. And then on the other side I will sew on just little buttons. Next we're going to just sew a line the same. We'll just sew a straight stitch maybe here. I'll do one on one side and show how I did it. Okay, I forgot I was supposed to record, so I just sewed them without recording. That's so smart. Basically, I just chained 21 and then pulled through the string, the yarn, cut a tail so I could then sew through each chain back and forth and I did that on both sides. Next, I'm going to do the vest adjustment strap. I'm not really sure how I'm going to do the clasp. I might just use the clasp, but I might just sew it together because that seems easier. I'll figure out the size that I want and then I'll show. Okay, I made like little strips of 5 half double crochets wide, and I don't know how many long, it would be different depending. And then I just kind of folded this part over and sewed it together. I put it on and then held this close to where it fits like comfortably, so it's kind of a little bit cinched in. But I kind of feel like this part isn't really that necessary if this fits perfectly, but mine did not. So, but I think that's it for the vest. I just need the buttons, which I do not have yet. I need to buy some. And it's just 5 buttons. Oh, my level of unmotivation for this project is upsetting because I just want to wear the uniform and I want to watch the movie and I want to have a good fun time, but this is painful. This is a painful experience. So let's do it together. Oh my god. Join me. For the sleeve, the first thing we're going to do is chain long enough to... Oh, my white looks so good. Chain long enough to wrap around your arm here. So like just the size of your sleeve. Now I already did one sleeve, so I know that mine is 55 chains, roughly. So that's what we're going to do first. We're going to chain that. And I'll come back once I've finished that. Oh, I did it. Okay, so now we're going to try we're going to slip stitch into the first chain from the beginning and try to keep it not twisted. So just feel it and keep it straight. But I honestly, when it gets long, super long, I just let it get twisted. You know? I feel like I can just fix it at the end. Okay, and then you slip stitch, and then you chain one, you do a row of half double crochets, and then you do that again. So I'm going to do that. Okay, once you've finished doing that, we're going to increase in every stitch. So half double crochet twice in every stitch. We chain one again, and half double crochet twice. Oh no, oh wait, okay. In the back loop only. I just think it looks nicer, adds a bit of separation, because the sleeves kind of when it poofs up, which is what the increases are going to do, and I think it's in every stitch. No, it's not in every stitch. Okay. I'm just lying. Okay, not in every stitch. We're going to single crochet and then increase. So the increase is just 2 half double crochets in the same stitch. And then repeat that over and over. And it's okay if it doesn't end perfectly. You just move around. And in the back loop only. So it makes that cute little line. And this is going to make it all poofy. For the poof sleeves. And I'll come back once I finish that. Now we're just half double crocheting in every stitch, and we're doing lots of rows of that. I ended up doing 16 rows with my other sleeve, but it's really just how long you want your sleeve to be. But I think this is what mine ended up looking like, which I feel like is kind of big for a thing. Oh, maybe it's okay. I don't have a good size estimations. I can't like see it and be like, yes. Like I know this will fit on my arm, but I don't know if this will be like that's big. But it's what I did. So I'm gonna do 16 rows. And then after that we'll do decreases. Okay, I finally finished the 16 rows of half double crochets, and we're going to start decreasing to make it a little circle. So what you're going to do is, again, we're going to chain one to start off the round. Now I'm going to bring up the chain one, and then we're just going to do one half double crochet and then one invisible decrease. So you grab the front loop of the next stitch, and then you do the same for the next. Yarn over, pull through the 2 loops. So you got 3, yarn over, pull through the rest of the loops. And then you repeat that. So 1 half double crochet, 1 invisible decrease. And you repeat that all the way around. Okay, so I did this row of half double crochet and decreases, and then slip stitched into the first. And so for the next row, which is the last row of decreases, we will single crochet 1, not single crochet, chain 1, and we are only doing invisible decreases this round. So just the whole way around decreases. And at the end, slip stitch again. So I'll come back when I've finished that. Okay, so once you've done that and slip stitch into the first, we're going to do the rows of just half double crochets. But in this first row, you're going to just go in the back loop only, so that it makes that line, because I think it looks cuter. And do that in every stitch all around. Single crochet in the top, and you got to make 2 more rows of half double crochets, but not in the back loop, just regular. So I'll do that. This is what it looks like for now. So after you do those rows and slip stitch, that's this sleeve done. So you just fasten off by chaining 1. I got big scissors for today, cutting and pulling through, and then you weave in that. Done the vest, and now I think I'm going to put on these buttons, which I tried to find the closest to the one from the show, the buttons that look the most similar, and I landed on these ones, which are 14mm, and there are 5 buttons. I think it starts from about here, and I'm going to sew them, laying it out like that. Okay, I've sewed on the buttons, slightly uneven, but whatever. And now I think I'm going to single crochet another line, just starting here and finishing here. And where the buttons sit against it, I might use a stitch marker to mark here. I'm going to make a maybe two chain loop every so often, so it can just go over like that. Never mind, turns out I had already put them in. So I hope I said that and mentioned it. So when you're sewing the buttons, if you've already got the spaces, then you should make sure when you're sewing these onto the other side that they align with your spaces, because mine kind of slightly didn't, but whatever. Okay, so now we'll do the sleeves and then the collar. So I've got the thing on, right? Okay, that looks cute though. But my issue out is that I think I made this too tight here. So I think what I'm going to do is, and this should probably be lower, is I'm going to, on this side, I'm going to crochet around and do increases so it's a bit bigger, and I might do another couple rows. Okay, I've added the extra rows, and now I think it will be a bit more comfortable, and I'm putting it on like this because where it ends, that's where I'm going to put a stitch marker, so I know to only sew it to there on either side. I feel like this looks pretty good. It might sit a bit high. But for these bits that I had to fill in, I just crocheted a square, so I'll show the written out part on the screen. And then I sewed it along all the edges, which it wasn't really a perfect hole for a square to go in. I just kind of made it work. So next we're going to do the collar part, which I'm really not sure how I'm going to do that. So I might have to do that also first and then explain how I did it. Okay, I think I figured it out. And it's similar to how we made these front pieces. And I'll put that written part on the screen. And then it's rectangle, but you can just tuck it underneath. And we'll do two. So one's here like this. I might curl that slightly so it sticks out a bit more. And then I'll do one the exact same for the other side, because I think that will leave enough room for my neck, maybe. But maybe I just won't put buttons there because the tie will be on top, so it might just cover it. So then if I need more room for my neck, it will just split. And then after I do sew these pieces on, I'll try it on, and then I might just sew like a long chain that fits around here for the actual fold part of the, what is it called? The collar. And then do a thick triangle to, not triangle, thick rectangle to fold in half. And then just attach it. That's what I think I'll do. Okay, so there's a gap in the middle, but I think that's okay because the tie is pretty thick. Like it might literally just be in that space. And for the collar, maybe I'll just mark here and then I'll chain all the way so it fits to the same place, because I think here is pretty good. And I'll put another one. Okay, cool. So we're close to finishing the top part. So I'll do the collar, I'll show you, and then I'm going to sew it along. I don't think I'm just going to go off this. Unless I should just, okay. No, I'm going to just not single crochet, half double crochet from here all around to here. And then do it until it's long enough to fold over. Okay, I did it. It ended up being 8 rows, I think. Yeah, I think that's 8. It is in fact 8. And this is going to be the end of this part of the video. So we're gonna do the tie and the skirt in the next video, but I just figured I should split it up because this video has been going way too long. And the next part I bet is gonna take forever to edit. So that's going to be it for now. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer them, but I'm just not the best at explaining things, as you've probably noticed. So the next part will be up soon, hopefully.